Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
BetMGM Casino is coming to Alberta on July 13th with over 4,000 casino games, including exclusive slots like Game of Thrones. Sign up early and download the app to get started. Then get ready to spin July 13th. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, World Cup Elite 8 is set, and it's mostly Europe again. Jay's found a place to win, but it's on the left coast, and they rarely play there. Oilers in a holding pattern, but there could be a blue move in Edmonton's future. Lowdown with Lowetide brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Wolf GMC Buick, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 Sierra 1500 models. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Our headliner of the day is Kevin McCurdy. We're also available at sports1440.ca, iHeartRadio, Radio Player Canada. After the show, we're on Apple and Spotify podcast, and we tweet it out on X. We're getting to Blue Sky. Honestly, we'll be there soon. Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at JFenwick04. You can text us anytime, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. I know you're tired of Jake DeBrusk and Josh Brown talk, but it's midsummer. We don't talk about those two guys here. Other stations are, other shows are. That's okay. That's cool. We're going to talk about guys you've never heard of and irritate you that way. All straight ahead. Going to be a fun show. Justin Nylander, by the way. Justin Verlander announcing his retirement at the end of this year. Legendary MLB starter, going to the Hall of Fame. Detroit Tiger, first and foremost. We'll talk about him as well. All right, it's time for the introductions. If he were a continent, it would be Europe. Party all the time, late nights, take 8 weeks off every summer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
Famously, I take basically no time off ever. I mean, last summer is our really only thing to go about, and I took exactly 0 days off because I wasn't allowed.
It fit what I was talking about.
Sure.
Truth will never get in the way. All right.
I'm letting the truth get in the way.
There you go. If he were a continent, he would be Australia. Unique with truly unusual things like the cassowary and Vegemite sandwiches. And his voice on the radio sounds exactly like a didgeridoo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
A lot of poisonous animals. I do love Vegemite, though. I like Marmite. I kind of forget what the difference between Vegemite and Marmite is. But overall, it was not that good of a continent choice.
My son sent away for Vegemite. And what he's learned is you don't put much on.
No, you don't need a lot. It hits you. That flavor will hit you.
Yeah. So, once you found peanut butter, what the hell are you doing looking at anything else? You know what I mean?
Oh, it's a great point.
Right.
But here's the thing. Do you ever have peanut butter with Vegemite?
God, I would never do that. Why take the best of everything and the worst of everything and put it together?
Hey, that's this show. Ayo.
It's like Canada and the United States. All right. So World Cup, Euro, every damn time. What is there? One South American country and that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One African, one South American, the rest Europe.
Yeah. So big whoop, and it'll be France against who? Spain?
I actually don't know how the bracket is shaped out right now.
They'll play Spain.
So
Spain wins
we can already predict it, and that's good. Sometimes Holland will get in, but it's just same old, and one does begin to get a little bit sick of it. Declan, could you explain to me why Europe is so far? Is it training? Is it the money they spend? Is it just that we lose Canadian athletes to hockey and American athletes play other sports like football and baseball?
Yeah, I don't think it's. Americans love to bring that up. I don't think that's nearly as good as an excuse as they like to make it out to be. I just think a big part of it is the development starts at such a young age there. Like people talk about, if our best athletes, played soccer, we'd be on top of the world. But like the way their academy systems, you start at 5, 6, 7, and you learn how to become a footballer for 10 plus years. Like that just doesn't exist. Like it doesn't exist. It exists in South America, but it doesn't exist in North America, and it doesn't really even exist in African countries the same way. So I would say that's probably the biggest part of it. That again, America will just never catch up on it.
How do the South Americans and the Europeans develop strikers that, let's be honest here, Christine Sinclair, Canadian striker, brilliant, but we don't have any others really. America doesn't, they homegrown guys who are good, but nobody at the level of how do you figure out, when was Messi great? Like at 5?
Yeah, he was great pretty early. He was a really little kid too. I think he had to take HGH as a kid so he would grow a little bit. But he came in as soon as he made his senior debut for Barcelona. And by the way, he made his senior debut for a Barcelona team that had Ronaldinho, Samuel Eto'o. They had 2 really, really good strikers as well. But he came out a finished product. Shaq always makes a joke. He came into the league, emerged. Shaq came in, emerged, and kind of just stayed that way for his entire prime. Messi obviously grew into it, but he very much came in polished because he was just that good. He had stuff to work on, of course, but he was very good.
He reminds me a little bit of Gretzky because he anticipates so well, but Messi's the best ever, right?
Oh, for sure, I think.
I don't think there's a lot of debate on that.
I don't even think it's a debate, actually.
No. So my headphones aren't working.
Oh, that's
let me
lovely.
Get you a pair.
Glad to hear that.
So I hate to be the host who's the big baby.
Yeah.
But
Declan probably broke his headphones on his way to...
They're not working.
No, all right, great.
I don't think it's the headphones. I think it's the headphone.
This has been a wonderful use of time.
Listen, I'm the host. When I'm a big baby, there's big baby happening. I've got it. I've fixed it.
You fixed it.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I can't wait to tell Declan.
Come back, Declan. It's working now. I just had to unplug it a little bit from the thing.
That's a classic.
Look,
that's like the equivalent of turning it off and turning it back on again.
Look, it's disconnected. It won't work for long, but it's working now. Declan, thank you for your great energy and efforts. You're the Messi of this show. All right. I'm looking at the Oilers. I'm writing an article today. It'll be published momentarily, and I'll tweet it out. But the Oilers are a funny team right now because remember that whole thing about Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl never playing together because why would you do that? You don't have a second-line center. They're looking for a forward. If they were to acquire a real center, not that they can because they're very expensive, but they've got a lot of players now, and they have too many defensemen. They really do. So what are the odds that the Oilers package up 2 guys of value and add a draft pick and actually go get a guy who can play either, middle 6 center or an upgrade on one of their top 4 defensemen? Now, Ekholm, Bouchard, and Connor Murphy, I think, are there. Wallman, I think, is the second pairing left side, and then Shea might be. But is there room in there? Could you do a 2-for-1 and improve on defense or up front? Is that possible for the Oilers? They've got more. They've got a surplus, plus they have money. They could go get an overpriced guy. Like your team has, has Zari been traded yet?
He is not.
How much does he make?
2.75, I think. Right in there.
And he's still a center, right? Or did they move him?
He plays center and wing. Really, it depends on how Huska's feeling that day.
You got a great coach down there. Never lose him.
Love him. Love him to bits.
Love that guy. Smart moves all the time.
Every time. Here's my question. Who's good? Who do you have that's going to wave?
No, but you could trade Emberson. You could trade Ike Howard.
Well, there you go. That's probably your best negotiating
So
piece.
Ike Howard, Emerson, and a pick for what?
God, it just like that really doesn't sound like too enticing of an offer to get a guy, like a big time impact.
You always
player.
hated Ike Howard.
Well, listen, we sit here and we say, yes, Ike Howard, young, he could develop into something. This would be the third time he's traded before he's like 24 years old.
Well, he hasn't been traded yet, so
he was traded from the Lightning to here.
That's one trade.
Yeah,
he hasn't been traded since then.
Yeah. But if that's what you're looking at here is that this guy's getting moved from another franchise to another farm system to hopefully develop into something.
I think that.
But I think anyone would be willing to take a chance on him because again, he is a Hobey Baker winner. However, the history for people who won the Hobey Baker in their third year or later is not very good, per Stephen Ellis. But also, the list is not great.
I think you can get a player for him. I
just don't know if you can get like the big impact player that you
if you're taking on cap, which they can do. They could trade Howard and Emerson in a pick for an expensive guy and help somebody with their cap. Like, does Anaheim need help there? Anybody does. Philadelphia might.
Well, Anaheim's currently looking for their top line center now.
Maybe Tippett shakes loose, right? I don't know.
There you go.
But a couple of things. Hayton was matched by Utah Mammoth. Ryan Smith is the owner of Utah Mammoth, and he has more money than the Roosevelts, all of them. So the difficulty with that offer sheet is that it sends him right to free agency. So I imagine Utah will work on signing him long term. Centermen have enormous value. So they matched on Hayton. We still don't have word about Carlson, right? Nothing yet.
No word on Carlson yet. And they have until Friday, right? That was what happened Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Our socks were blown off.
Daniel Alfredson spoke towards Ottawa fans, saying that he understands why they might be upset. He said, I have to earn my way. This is by Kristen Shelton. I have to earn my way to get my experience. Would I have loved to stay and then become the head coach of Ottawa? Maybe, but no one stays in one spot. I think it benefits a coach to go to another team and learn different processes, work with different people, maybe get more folks that you might want to work with when you become a head coach. I don't see anything negative about it at all. I guess I understand the idea that it might hurt people to see one of their true heroes behind the bench of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like that would be like if the Flames had anybody who was legendary behind the Oilers coach.
Like Daryl Sutter, I think that would suck.
What about Iginla?
If Jerome Iginla was all of a sudden like the skills coach or something, yeah. The worst, but it already sucks that he lives around here.
What do you mean? He grew up here. He's from St. Albert.
I know.
His dad's a lawyer.
I'm very aware. I saw his sign every time I would go downtown for a double E game.
Elvis Iginla, I met him several times. Good guy.
I believe you.
Mm-hmm. Good people.
Hey, you know what? They raised a great son.
They damn right they did.
But
and did Sheldon Surrey, but other than that, he was great.
Well. But I just it would pain me something fierce to see Jerome Iginla behind the.
I'm glad I brought it up.
The Oilers bench.
It's good. I'm glad. All right. Justin Verlander, one of the all-time greatest pitchers, and certainly one of the great of this era, has announced that he's going to retire at the end of the year. He was a late pick for the All-Star game. They picked legends of the game, and he definitely is one. I think he's the biggest pitching legend. He would be, right?
Ever?
No, but
currently, yeah. I would think so. Yeah. Honestly, for going this century, there's not a lot of guys that rank ahead of him. Like Randy Johnson was pitching at this time,
right?
Or at the beginning of the century.
Yeah. It would be a small list who would be, mentioned as superior to him beginning in 2000. I think
he was just so dominant.
Yeah. He was a horse,
oh yeah.
He won a lot of games in the modern era. He won just a massive amount compared to everybody else. And so it's just news out, and we're a little bit surprised by it, but not really, because he was struggling a little bit and had injury issues, and the velo wasn't necessarily what it needed to be. for him to compete every fifth day in the major leagues of baseball. Jays won. They had to go to San Francisco to do it. I think I've decided they need to trade Verlander.
Louis Varland?
Yeah.
Why? That's their basically
Because-
best pitcher.
Because you're going to get a lot for him. Teams need a guy like him. He's having a whale of a year. And you could get something for him, and you need some. You know what? Their everyday lineup isn't fab. Their starting pitching for next year isn't so good you couldn't add an arm.
Yeah. I just like
The Jason Krueger Show
then-
presents Struts On.
I know you don't make
It's a
you
memory.
don't run your team based off
It's
what the
time
fans
for
say.
Struts.
But oh my God, how do you want to subject not just your fans but your own team to Jeff Hoffman again? as
Well,
your closer?
the manager wants that. Like he can't wait to get Hoffman in there.
I cannot imagine a world where John Schneider watching Louis Varland is like, you know what? Let's get Jeff Hoffman back in there. I'd be more inclined to see Brendan Little come up than I would see like Varland pulled from the closer role, and they're like, Jeff Hoffman, it's all yours again.
Well, I think just to save the coach's or the manager's job, you probably don't put Hoffman
No.
back in there.
He should not get fired this year either. That would.
Oh,
be
I think it's a
incredible.
bad year to fire the manager.
Oh yeah, like
Because
this is a really bad year. Vladdy's having back problems.
Right. If they start 40 and 60 next year, he's gone. But not this
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Anything else we should talk about in the first segment?
Well, I mean, to be fair, yesterday the Jays did drive in 8 runs in 2 1/3 innings off the starter, and then got 1 run the rest of the game.
Well, they were tired. They'd swung
From
on
all their hard work earlier. Yes, very impressive. Good win.
Absolutely not, LT, from Matt the Sparky. Marlin has like 3 years of team control left. All right. Lowetide is drunk. I have not been drunk in, there was that one time. Wasn't my fault, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
By Friday, one of the Flyers or Ducks are going to need to find cap room. Tippett or Troy Terry are great targets, Nick and Grand Prairie. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's going to be the Oilers have money, and they have. My learned friend Josh here doesn't like Ike Howard, but I think he's a legit.
Well, okay, that's
prospect.
not what I said.
You said you hated him.
I-
personally and tried to hit his car, is what you said.
Sure. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and I think that most people would agree with me. I think there's an opportunity out there for the Oilers, and I wonder if they packaged, like an Emberson, they could do it, and a Howard, they could do it, and then trade for a guy that another team would like to, trade all of, like say $5 million, and the Oilers take it, and they've got themselves a terrific center. And I've been thinking winger all spring, early summer, but maybe they want the option of playing a center who can play wing. I think Nuge is sort of sliding out of the era where he could be the number 2 center. Is there a number 2 center out there? Man, they're hard to get. But if there is, maybe that's what they're looking at. And as far as Jake DeBrusk and Josh Brown are concerned, this is the time when we look through, like I could do this right now. I could do a show on this. I choose not to because I don't want to irritate you. I think of you as my friend, but there are so many players out there. Mantha, Tolvanen, Evander Kane, Bunting, a bunch of them are not signed. We could talk about them for an hour. But if you're the Oilers, what you're hoping for is that we get to, September 30th and Mantha doesn't have a contract. And that won't happen. And so he's desperate. He wants to go to a place, and the Oilers say, well, okay, if you want to come. And they sign him to what they did with Roslovic. So you don't want to jump in now and still pay full coin. The calendar is helping you with Mantha and Tolvanen and Kane and Bunting and, eavesdropping. It's all helping.
It's helping everyone else too.
Right. Sure. But the Oilers are, unlike Calgary, they're a fun destination. Calgary's rebuilding now.
Yeah, it's true. They are.
for
I mean, like,
2029, but they're rebuilding.
they'll be right there, man. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Declan, you've been quiet so far. What's coming up on Declinations, sir?
Ooh, we got a little dunking with Declan, jamming with Josh. And what's this? Lowetide. He's up on the floor. A layup with Lowetide as well. No, yeah, obviously I like to get things set up for the Jason Gregor show. That's going to be coming up here at 2:00. So anytime I have to fill in for Connor during this 2
Oh, so that's why you've been quiet. I thought you were mad at me.
No. Well, that too. I don't like you very much, but it's mostly because
Very obvious.
It's mostly because I am, just prepping some things for Gregor's show here.
Yeah. All right.
Plus, I also not really the biggest baseball guy in the world, so I'm not just gonna sit here and talk for the sake of it when I don't know a lot about the game.
How
That would
did
be
you guys let me
disingenuous.
go 18 minutes into this show without telling me my hair looks like hell?
I just thought you knew. You own a mirror, don't you?
But I kind of think it looks good. Like it looks fun and flow. You kind of look like it's a little James Deany.
No, it's not.
Meh.
I have such a line to say, and I'm not saying it. It would have been such bad taste. This is the mature Lowetide. All right. We have.
Who was drunk that one time?
We were on White Avenue. And,
that
and
enough
we
said.
were listening to the blues, and the band was rocking. Oh my God, were they good? Anyway. On the way, rumors, Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and on YouTube. And we're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairies Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 50% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining, and save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
What's it like to score a winning deal at Car West Leduc? Like raising the cup in your hometown on your birthday. Feel it now. Car West Leduc. Experience a vast, uncompromising selection of top-quality used vehicles with no extra fees. Trucks, sedans, vans, SUVs, and more. Backed by family-run service and top dealer ratings on Google. So when the final siren goes, you go home with a deal you'll never forget. Car West Leduc, 6514 Sparrow Drive, Leduc, or at carwestautosales.com.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
He knows all about the Expos and Oilers. It's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Edmonton's Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. Can't get enough of those Ian Tyson B-sides. Well done. Real good music there. It is time for Rumors, brought to you by Harley-Davidson of Edmonton. It's riding season, and Harley-Davidson of Edmonton has your new bike waiting. Huge selection of new and pre-owned, plus test rides available. Locally owned and operated since 1980 on the Yellowhead Trail or at hdedmonton.com. Major thunderstorm warning going on. It feels so close in this room. Very humid, right?
What's that called again?
Close?
Oh, close. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I hate the rain. Also, I don't think it's humid in here. I think it's about the exact same as it always has been. Started at 10:30 this morning. Shows you I'm locked indoors all the time.
Well, you like to keep up on the news.
Well, I mean, I'm here from 6:30 every morning until 2:30. I don't really see outdoors.
But you seem happy.
Happy enough, yeah. I take my vitamin D every day.
Sure. You also got a great life.
Yeah, it
You
really
don't have-
turned around there.
You don't have much responsibility. You got a great girl. You don't remember what you were like before you met this young
Oh,
lady.
yes, I do, and
No,
I am so glad.
I'm like, hey, you got anything going on? No, nothing. Going home to play Parcheesi. Are you doing the Dungeons and Dragons anymore? Did you drop those?
Yeah,
loose?
no, I still do
All
that. She luckily did not drop me like a bad habit after me very early on saying, I played Dungeons and Dragons.
Boy, I tell you that the battle is real when it comes to that, right? You know.
Oh, I was listen, she's great, but I was a little afraid. I'll be straight up.
Me too. When Karen found out how much baseball I watch, you know.
Yeah, but at least it's just like you don't have to spend any money watching baseball.
Sure.
You know?
And it's not like she knows where I am.
It's
you know.
yeah, this is an relatively expensive hobby.
Is it?
It's expensive enough, yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm dead serious.
How can it's a board with dice?
Yeah. So dice, first of all, are expensive, but then like
You could get any dice.
yeah, I know. Well, no, you can't get any dice because you need specific dice. You can't just play with just D6s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there's 20-sided dice.
You could get a cheapo knockoff one, or
There's
more-
let me be real here, Ted. There's not really a knockoff die. Let me be honest here. They're all like you don't have to get the $50 ones like I have. But the only one set, they're metal. But like, yeah, they'll run you like $20. But if you do what I do, which is play DM, then yeah, you probably buy some miniatures here and there. And then you know what? Like, yeah, I could get
you mean like Lego?
no,
little Lego
they're like
people?
it's like they get 3D printed and they have a little base, except there's so many combinations of all these different ones that you can get for players, and then you get like the monster ones, and sometimes you buy paint to color them because they'll just come as gray. I have not gotten that far in yet, as I am.
Do you think that women as a group wonder how men can waste their time on such silliness?
Yes, I do. I think my mother has told me that straight to my face.
Yeah.
Love you, Mom.
Yeah. No, I've been down this road, and all the reasons you use, it doesn't cost that much, or
Not a reason for me.
Yeah, you don't have that reason. All right, we're talking since it is rumors, and although we didn't know that Josh spends exorbitantly on.
Well, hey, I didn't say exorbitantly, but I just said it
major
ain't
dollars.
cheap.
We found out that you dislike Ike Howard.
More expensive having a
and-
girlfriend than it is playing D&D.
I mean, I wish I could argue back on that. All right. Mammoth have matched the Barrett Hayton offer sheet. I don't think there was a lot of surprise. They have lots of money, 4.775. Now they've got to sign him, and that's where New Jersey was, hoping they wouldn't match. And I just think this was a soft lob. It was, but it was cool. It was interesting. It shows that they're in the game. Now, with the situation in Anaheim, we're still waiting. That is a big one, because if it's possible Philadelphia makes a move on one of their skill forwards if they win that Carlson offer sheet, and Tippett might be one of them, and I suspect the Oilers would be interested in that. The AHL coaching staffs have been all gathered up, and so without changes, and I doubt there would be, Bakersfield is looking like this for another year. Colin Chalk, head coach. Keith McCambridge and Adam Krug are the assistants. Goalie coaches Kelly Gard, WHL right from yesteryear, and Eddie Fritz will be the video coach. Chalk takes a lot of heat from Oilers fans, but the one fail during his time in coaching the Condors among the first rounders was Xavier Bourgault, and despite the fact that he filed for arbitration, Bourgault got the chances. He really did. And if you look at a team like the Bakersfield Condors last year, they found room for like every prospect, really, and it did cost them, because a guy like Robbie Yerventi was really good, and the Oilers didn't recall him, and so he signed in Europe, because I think he wants a one-way deal. Robbie Yerventi staying healthy was a big deal, but performing as well as he did in the AHL was not a surprise. But Chalk did everything he could. He played him a lot, and in the second half, Yerventi rewarded him with, I think he was the best second half forward on that team. But you look at the guys that were sent there, Howard and Hudson and Szymanski and Marhala, and even Damian Carfagna, who I think we'll be talking about more throughout the summer and into the fall. They all performed well. So I for one, as somebody who does pay a lot of attention to the Bakersfield Condors, endorse the idea that Chalk has earned another year. I imagine he'll want, like Todd Nelson and others, to get a shot at a head coaching job. And I don't know if that comes in Edmonton, because they like to hire famous people, but Chalk is a guy who I would, I know a lot of Oilers fans don't feel that way, but I think he's done the job. And I liked Woodcroft there too, but I think Chalk is committing to another year, and he probably will get an NHL assistant coaching job when he wants one. Maybe it's next year. Don't know if it would be from Edmonton, but there you go. We're waiting. We're kind of in holding pattern because of the offer sheet with Anaheim and Philadelphia. So it becomes a matter of looking at rosters and going, hey, do you think this might work? Do you think this might work? Or whatever the case may be. And I looked at the Oilers pretty heavily, just from the point of view of, now that we're here, we've got a chance. We've looked at the roster, and we're viewing it as being this thing. If it ran as is, isn't enough, and I think it would be enough to make the playoffs. But I also think that since they have some walking around money, and there are players available, like we just mentioned, Owen Tippett, if they could acquire him from Philadelphia, to me, that's like if you traded Ike Howard and whatever else, and picked up a player of the quality of Tippett, I think I would spend the money, even though I like the idea of keeping your powder dry. I would spend the money for that, because now you've got a couple of wingers at least who can score, and they're young. You've got Savoy, you've got Tippett. I know he's not young, but he's younger than, say, Zach Hyman. So I wrote an article, and I'm just tweeting it out right now, called The Oilers' Layered Approach to Offseason Creates Options and Some Roster Uncertainty. And I bring up some ideas in there, and I encourage you to read it. That's why I'm mentioning it. Because we're at a point now where, or it's tweeted out, we're at a point now where you've done all the work that you were supposed to do. And now you're like, okay, well, we've done so well. We have money extra. The Darnell Nurse changing of the guard really opened up money for the team. So they can't spend it willy-nilly, pell-mell, wildly. And I'm not sure where they go, I mentioned on Monday, shot down in a hail of bullets by Josh, but I mentioned Shane Wright. as a possibility. And I'm also mentioning today Tippett, but also centers out there. Would the Oilers go get a center that they feel could play second line center in the games during the times when they have McDavid and Draisaitl on the same line? Like let's say you've got a 2-minute power play and you've used McDavid and Draisaitl the whole 2 minutes. That happens all the time. Would it be okay to throw over the boards guys who were not on the power play? And I'll use as an example Podkolzin and Savoy and Connor Zary. Throw those guys out there. Is that the guy? And I'm just saying the name because it occurred to me because he's a Calgary Flames player. Would they look at a guy who could play center because the nuance of the roster would allow that to maybe have more impact? So that's what the article's about. Just like, where are they? Where are the battles? And we know that, people keep talking about, I don't know how Devin Levy's going to play. Well, he doesn't have to play every day. The two veterans might get hurt at some point in time, but let's say they don't get hurt. How are you going to divide up the 82 games? Well, maybe Devin Levi only plays, 25 games, and maybe the goalie who doesn't win the starting job among the veterans, let's say it's Jari, and he plays, 30. That's 55, and now you're playing however many's left, 27 as the starter. Anderson, probably that's his workload because he get hurt so much. So they'll be divided by injury, but also by you don't need Devin Levi to be the starter right away. If he wins the job, hell, run with him. But that's an option that you have. By the way, I don't think the three-headed monster will last all year. It always seems as though there's something that occurs like an injury, and they end up, putting somebody on injured reserve, and then you have your two guys. Is he eating?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Sun chips. The best.
Those
chip.
are good.
Yeah. He's not eating the best flavor of them, but
what's the best flavor? Vegemite?
What? No, come on. Wake up. It's the French onion.
Oh, I do like that.
That is the best one.
Yeah, I like sour cream and onion chips. Those are my favorite.
Well, these ones are slightly different, but I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
I don't like sour cream and onion
You seem
chips.
a little edgy today.
Honestly,
did you not sleep?
No, I
Is it the
slept. I slept
humidity?
amazing. I did wake up at 3:30 in the morning when my roommate left
I'm
for
not
the
being
airport.
critical of you.
No,
I
I understand where you're coming
edgy
from, though. I did wake up at 3:30 this morning when my roommate left for the airport. He's going to Florida for work for 3 weeks.
Right.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
So
you
I woke up.
secretly hate him, don't you?
I hate him at times, but I love him. He's a great guy.
Right.
But
You say
sometimes
that because you need him to pay half the rent.
this is true.
Right.
But I do like he's a nice guy. He's a good guy. But
You're
at
saying
times
that
he
with
does
clenched
annoy
teeth.
me.
You're saying that with clenched teeth.
Yes, I am because we have been on. It's been a couple months.
Are there some
of
stories?
him really annoying the piss out of me?
Do you want to talk about
Apologies
it?
for
Do
my
you want
friend.
to share with the group?
No, I really don't want to share with the group. So, anyways, I woke up to that, but otherwise, I slept great.
Okay.
But it's a Wednesday, and there's not really a lot going on.
Remember
Let's
that
be real.
Remember that time last summer you didn't have air conditioning and you complained about it all the time?
Oh yeah, when I was cat sitting, it sucked
Man.
because it was the one time the entire summer that the heat was like 30 degrees. I stand by that decision of me complaining.
Free world, man.
Hey man, you give me creature comforts, and I will complain when they are taken away from me.
I have 4 animals, and I know all about when they complain, man. Cal says, I like the idea of Binnington and Parayko at the deadline for Howard, Emberson, Akey, and a first. I cannot see them trading for a goalie at the deadline. This would be the biggest fail blog ever if they don't get one goalie who can stand up and stop shots. You have a better version of Zari, RNH from Team Dean. You know what? Like, honestly, I think a third line center, sure. But we're talking about a second line center who is Draisaitl. But if they move Draisaitl to center, I love Nuge. I just don't think I don't think he could never carry a line offensively. And he is eroding a little bit in the areas that you need him. He doesn't score enough to stay on the McDavid line. And I don't think he can drive a line, certainly one that played against elites. Tippett will cost you Savoy. Then I wouldn't do the deal because Savoy is still cost controlled for another year. 84 games. Right. So there's 84 games. Problem with keeping that much cap space into the deadline is you need assets to use that money for players. Not sure the Oilers have them really from bad nib. Well, you don't have to go to the deadline. You know, they signed Jack Roslovic like October 8th or 9th, right? So that's no biggie. That's no big one. That's no big deal. Whatever the kids are saying.
No big whoop.
D&D dice run from $20 to $300. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
What in the HE double hockey sticks is going on around here?
Well, hey, hobbies are expensive sometimes, particularly the nerd ones.
But I think that's why most guys drop the D&D when they get a girlfriend.
Paul, because you can only have one expensive one going on at a time. Yeah, this is fair. However, I'm not giving it up.
You know what I did? I had approximately 200 bootleg albums.
That's nice.
Bruce Springsteen. I had a version of Fire that was gold. I had a bunch of like Blondie, Parallel Lines in white vinyl, some collectors, things like that. And I sold them all.
Okay, well, I would say that the resale value on these dice is not very good.
Okay. I'm not trying to get you in trouble at all.
Oh, hey, you're looking out. But let's be honest here, guys. Flowers, they're not that expensive.
No, they're not.
And you learn how to cook. You don't have to go out and eat all the time. If you just learn how to cook, everything's fine.
There's very little required. You have to bathe.
Yeah. Have a shower.
Right.
Buy some flowers every once in a while. Remember what her favorite color is.
Find 3 things you can cook that she'll eat and enjoy.
Yeah. Or learn more.
Right.
Also, don't be afraid to use salt. Use more salt. If you think you have enough, you don't. Use more salt.
As you get older, that will be problematic.
Yeah, but as you get older, you can cut back. It's fine. But yeah, stop eating out so much. Learn how to cook.
That half and half, man. I try. I do try.
Of what? The half and half between eating out and eating at home?
No, half and half salt.
Oh.
It's like half salt, half just little dirt pieces they find that are light.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So it's
hey, there's some salt that is more potent than others, like sea salt.
Oh yeah, no, that works.
Very like you can get a lot of salt taste. However, you don't really have to add a lot of salt. Do I anyways? Yes. You're cooking steak, you need to put a lot of salt on there.
Yeah. Harvest cheddar is the best sun chip, says
Wrong.
Steve from Drumheller. Well, Steve from Drumheller says.
Yeah, well, I texted Steve already. I told him wrong in all caps.
Did I take was I supposed to take a break?
Yeah.
Okay. Ranger Nick says, why is he going to Florida for work? Well, we'll talk about that on the way next. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
The Riverhawks are back, and the fun is too. Catch Italian Plumber Video Game Night, Star Wars with a post-game fireworks show, and kids crash the park Sunday with a poster giveaway presented by Save On Foods. Bring the family. Kids tickets from $10 at GoHawks.ca.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Support support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest.
Down on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And you can check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. Do we have the same number of YouTube viewers as we used to?
Do pretty well.
Okay.
We do pretty well. Gazzola is currently smoking everybody out of the water.
Because he's got all those fans.
Yes, he does.
Right.
And so, like, I don't know what the Gregor numbers are. I'm actually just about to look at them.
Mm-hmm.
But Gazzola is smoking all the rest of you guys.
And he will continue to, because he's a brilliant broadcaster.
He's
and
very
a nice fellow. And I the only thing I can do is, if this continues with him getting, smoking us with viewers and listeners, is I will release his actual age, which is the only thing I have against him.
However, LT, I do think you still hold the single station record for most viewers in one show.
And that was the time that my hair looked good.
No, it might have been the Jari day.
Oh, okay.
That was Carius. You know what it was? It was Mike Babcock.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad that we're number one.
You hold the record currently, unless Gregor's show was on fire that day. I don't know.
No, you can't really say we're number one. We're kind of like number 3, and yet we don't try harder. That's sort of the motto of the show.
Hey, at least you're not number 4.
Damn straight. Until we get a 4th show. Then
we do have 4 shows.
1, 2, 3.
We have Gazzola show, Fantasy Frenzy, Lowdown.
Okay, number 5. because Declan's on Fantasy Frenzy, I forgot it this week.
Right.
All right. So lots of texts coming in, and LT, I collect model trains. My basement is full of them. Not a cheap hobby also. Cheers, Daryl. 3 Christmases in a row, I bought my son a train set, and I ended up playing with them more than he did. But I love train sets. I am one of the reasons I love Neil Young is that he and his son have like just an obsession with trains. And I just think that's the coolest thing ever.
Trains are pretty cool.
Yeah. My dad worked for CN, so I got to hang around trains a little bit.
I knew a lot of people that worked for CN for a while. They've all gone on and done other things, but when I first met them, they all worked for CN.
Right. They became independently wealthy afterwards. Luke in Cowtown, the Canucks don't seem to know what they're doing. You could probably trade Janmark, Stashty, and a draft pick and a bag of used skate blades for Brock Besser. Well, that'd be a good one. No doubt about that. people keep talking about a Pettersson trade. I'm like, oh, how in bloody blue blazes are you going to take on that contract? You need an expansion team to do that.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe the Canucks trade Elias Pettersson
right
to the Kraken for Shane Wright straight up.
Not bad. What's the money difference?
Oh, significant.
I like Shane Wright way more than you do.
Pettersson's making what, $11.5 million?
Oh God, I forgot it was that much.
11.6.
11.6, and I think Shane.
Difference,
and I think
still.
Shane Wright is technically on a league, man. I think he's making like $850 or something. $876, I think, is what I saw on Puckpedia.
Does Pettersson take the same kind of abuse that Nurse did over the high contract? Because his more.
I feel very confident that he
worse.
takes a lot of verbal thrashings from Canucks fans over his contract.
Darcy, good day. Not sure about this new fellow Tom, but my money is on you. Low. Didn't even have the time to put Tide on there.
Well,
you know,
how many times have people graffitied the inside of outhouses for Tom Gazzola, saying I love Tom Gazzola?
I still have that photo somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I saved it. You know, like that's cool.
Yeah, seen around Edmonton. They loved it so much that they had to make sure that everyone that used the crapper knew that you were their favorite.
And that's the best place for this show, really.
I've gone out of my way to use that toilet just for the graffiti.
Oh dear. All right. Tom released his age this morning. He said he was 15 in the year 2000. So that would make him 41.
Good math skills, buddy.
But I love math. That's why I love baseball.
Makes sense.
But he does not look 41.
No, he really doesn't.
Looks incredible for his age.
No.
I told him this week, I was more of a shot at the Duke, really, but I was like, yeah, well, you look younger than the Duke. I'm not saying you look old, Brandon, but it's like, what the hell? Sorry, man.
You ever get a conversation with Tom? Ask him about his mom. The coolest lady ever.
He's done the accent multiple times, the little Polish lady accent.
Very cool stories about, and I always, yeah. He respects her a great deal, and I think that's a sign of a very good person.
Mm-hmm.
You respect your mom.
I already said I love my mom once on the show today. She texted it back in the YouTube chat. Bless up.
Yeah.
Say again, love you, Mom.
But I said respect.
Yeah. Well, I respect the hell out of her.
There you go. She was the only person in the world who will not lie to you, will tell you exactly what's going on. Your dad will, but he probably isn't paying attention. Your body needs salt, but everything in moderation is what's best, Steve from Drumheller. And radio people are so good at moderation. Let me tell you, we are absolutely the face of moderation when it comes to alcohol and food and staying up at the right amount, going to bed, sleeping 8 hours. We're so good at all of that. All of my friends somehow convinced their girlfriends to play Dungeons and Dragons and Magic: The Gathering with them. Biased whatever.
Yo, let me in on your friend group. Teach me the ways. Teach me your secrets.
I cannot imagine that going well.
No, I think she would hate every second of it.
Yeah,
Also, going to play Magic tonight. That was the first nerd hobby I got into. Fun fact.
Lowetide, number 2 with a bullet from Dealey Stan. That's our aim. Sorry about missing the Tide, but didn't mean to hurt a feeling. But the truck doesn't always repeat what I say. It's usually wrong. All right, no worries, Darcy. I was just taking an opportunity to make a joke. I'm working at CN right now. Tommy's fantastic. He is. Tommy, and look, when we talk about this, it sometimes feels to me like we're not respecting Carius. Carius is a great guy. He truly is. And he was exceptional during that show. And when we were losing him, I was like, oh God, because the morning show is the most important show on a radio station. You got to gather the audience, and then we all try not to lose it, right? But we are, when you have a loss and then you can discover somebody available like Tom, you just rejoice. It's just a wonderful day. And so, now I have nothing on him because he revealed his age. So
maybe next time.
If I looked like that at 41, I'd be walking around. I would be on my forehead. I am 41.
Yeah.
That's that clean living.
That's
living. What you've got going on, right?
Good, clean living. That's right.
Yeah.
As pioneered by my godfather.
LT, I heard you love model train sets. A long time ago, my grandpa gave a massive box of mint condition electric trains. I haven't really got into them or opened them up. And I've been moving them around for 30 years. Where does one go to sell these items? Lee, I don't know.
This is when we give you Lowetide's address.
No more stuff goes to Lowetide's house. I got to get rid of the stuff I have, man. I have hockey newses from 1954. Why? Because I saw it and I thought, I'll buy that,
As most people do when they see things.
The antique store on the south side they've been able to build additions to their building because of the hockey news purchases that I've made. It's embarrassing. One day I'm going to have a what?
I just think it's funny.
Sure, it's funny because I got a bunch of stuff. I'm going to have a garage sale and I'm going to invite everybody and I'm going to sell everything. And you got to buy it. You come in. If you get in there, you can't leave without buying something. Cash only.
Important clarification there. Cash only.
Well, I mean, I don't have one of them fancy machines. They cost.
No one should have one of those fancy machines, okay? You don't need them. Cash is fine. Cash is king.
What's this now?
Cash is king. From Spycatcher. Please tell me that's AI.
Somebody used AI and did a funny, and I think you are hilarious. There's no way that's true. I mean, there's just no way that, first of all, Declan will take great offense to that, but.
Well, it's obviously fake.
You can go and find that on our YouTube stream right now, as a matter of fact, as I put it up.
It's hilarious. Someone made it up. Looks pretty Northern Irish, if I had to guess.
They probably.
Oh yeah, that's IRA coded, no doubt.
Yeah, very Belfast core.
I just want the lady in the photo to get some kind of credit, like, because she's got a look on her face like, what the hell you looking at? Which I also love. Okay. All right. It's 12:56. We have completely wasted this segment. Declan is absolutely mortified that he was witnessing to it, and he will give us a sound thrashing verbally in the break, and then we'll talk to Kevin McCurdy in hour 2, and we have a little bit of declinations at 1:40 as well. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by elknation.ca. For the best green and gold coverage online, visit elknation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more. Best green and gold coverage online, elknation.ca. Utah Mammoth matching Barrett Hayden's offer sheet from the Devils, but will not be able to trade at the pending UFA. Daniel Alfredson did confirm he interviewed for the Maple Leafs head coaching gig. And in the CFL, Jake DeLagala named the starter for the Tiger Cats Week 6 matchup versus the Rough Riders. Elsewhere in the sporting world, Detroit Tigers Justin Verlander announces his intent to retire after being named to the AL All-Star team in the Legends category at the end of this season. MLB today, 1:45 is when the Jays will get going against the Giants. Dylan Cease on the bump for that one. Cubs and Orioles at 4:35. And the late game tonight in the league, we'll see the Rockies and Dodgers at 8:10. Wimbledon results from earlier today with Sasha Zverev and Artur Ferry in straight sets in their quarterfinal matchups in the women's division. It was Marta Kostyuk over 13 seed Jasmine Paolini and Linda Noskova over Elise Martins in the other quarter. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Red Blacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Alberta is growing, but our highways are crumbling. Are you tired of the rough ride? In the last 15 years, our population has grown with hundreds of thousands more cars and trucks on our highways. Today, more than 15% of Alberta's highways are in poor condition. Cutting highway maintenance doesn't save money. It makes repairs more expensive. Don't let the government ignore the problem. Your MLA works for you. Tell them to fix our roads. Visit fixourroads.com for more information.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Ask about bonus offers for heroes, students, recent graduates, and more at wolfgmcbuick.com. We have we still have that thunderstorm warning. It's still going? Yeah, all right. So the thunder boomers are continuing. The Sturgeon River is very high. We're not biblical or anything, but it's a little bit, unusual. And so be careful out there, dress accordingly. And if you can leave work 3 hours early, why not? I'm a little worried about the storm. It'll never work. Okay, time for our headliner of the day, brought to you by Faber, and it is Kevin McCurdy. Debt holding you back? Let Faber's licensed insolvency trustees help you tackle your debt. Book your free consultation at faber.ca or call 1-877-944-1177. We are now joined by our friend Kevin McCurdy. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Alan. How are you doing this week?
So I'm well, but you made a major internet error. Can I tell you what it is?
Sure, let's hear it.
You gave food opinions. And when you give food opinions, people are insulted that you didn't endorse their special food opinions. So I can't imagine that you've gone this long after you released all of the things that you recommended without somebody pushing back.
Honestly, actually, the feedback has been surprisingly less controversial than I expected. So that either means I have good taste in food or a whole bunch of people have blocked me that I'm going to find at a later time. One of the two.
It was a large list, and I do thank you. And you had my favorite restaurant, Amore, on it. So I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I love that place. It's one of those spots in the city, and the list, now that I've gone through it again, is I'm really actually happy with how many are just like local spots. There's nothing really on there that's Joey might be the thing that's closest to a chain, which it is, but in that specific context, they do make a mean cheeseburger. So I just like supporting local business over, having just a bunch of chains on a list somewhere.
Yeah, I'd drive to Red Deer for a good cheeseburger. I will tell you that's worth it. But it does reflect, I think, the current state of Oiler Nation in terms of content. We don't have a lot. There's not a lot going on. I did look at the roster, Kevin, and I feel like there's enough there that if they wanted, they have like $6 million. They have Ike Howard and they have Ty Emberson, and they could go trade for an expensive-ish center or winger. I don't know that they will, but they do have that ability, right?
Yeah, I think that's an ability for sure. My one ask of this team is to not light all your cap on fire unless you're absolutely certain. This is unprecedented territory in the Connor McDavid era, where we're entering a season with cap available to us. And unless something obvious like Owen Tipley, let's just say that Anaheim balks and doesn't actually match the Carlson offer sheet, that's going to free up almost certainly Tippett in Philadelphia, both for roster construction and financial reasons. So in that case, yeah, I would take a swing at Owen Tippett. But what's the harm in taking $6 million in cap hit into the season and accruing until the trade deadline, and then having something resembling the GDP of a small country available to you to make the roster better come the trade deadline? Or maybe Ike Howard isn't the solution, but you are mid-season and an opportunity presents itself. Having that flexibility to actually act, as opposed to having like put yourself right at the ceiling right before you even get out the front door. There's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And you mentioned Tippett. A lot of people are mentioning Philip Forsberg. I don't know that they're going to trade him. That seems like a bridge too far, and it's real money. But I would like, as we get closer, you look at the free agents that are available. I'll use Mantha as an example. He won't get to October 8th like Jack Roslovic, but you could, you've got enough at $6 million. You could sign a player at $2 million right before the season and still have $4 million accruing for the deadline. That would be enough to get a monster deadline.
I imagine Mantha is asking for more money than $2 million, and frankly, he's been a ghost, or he was a ghost in this past playoffs, and we've had this experience with Roslovic, and Mantha brings the size for sure. But I just keep your powder dry. Like there are bigger needs than that I can think of to fill than what you would get by getting Mantha. I mean, you can make a case for Tarasenko, but that's not a player that I've ever really loved, to be honest with you. The thing is that the team needs to kind of figure out what they're doing as far as McDavid and Draisaitl. Are they playing together or not? Because if they're playing together, the real obvious gap that's been there forever is 2C. Like, they don't have somebody that is, somebody might say, Nugent Hopkins, or, it's definitely not Jason Dickinson. No disrespect to either of those two gents, but, the 2C spot, the reason that they've never been able to fully commit to McDavid and Draisaitl is because it automatically turns the second line into a shell, and that's not something that they can afford to do into the playoffs.
And there's nobody really, the problem, everybody's looking for a 2C. Everybody, know? So you, we were talking about Connor Zary earlier, but he's a center and a winger, and is he better than Nuge? I mean, come on. And I think, honestly, Nuge is not able to do that. He was always a good two-way guy, never drove a line offensively. And the Oilers don't have two wingers to put on the second line that can, that are Taylor Hall and Jordan Eberle when they were 23. So, you'd like to find a center, and you do have things to offer, but it's just, you're looking for a player who doesn't exist.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand that. So that really throws a wrench into the McDavid Draisaitl pairing, right?
Yeah.
that's the reality. If those guys want to play together, then this team needs to construct their roster with that in mind. And if that means that eventually they're pushing, they get it. Let's just say they go get a theoretical 2C that may or may not exist in the league at the moment. That just pushes talent down the lineup. And let me tell you, I would much rather be pushing somebody down the lineup than pushing guys up the lineup in terms of what that means in terms of performance.
Where do you go with like fourth line center right now? Let's assume they don't get a center. I've always been of a mind that I like Szymanski enough to put him there. Owen Michaels is a guy based on the contract that he signed. The Oilers believe next year will be in the NHL. He might surprise. You could always put Trent Frederick there, or Nuge could slide over at third line and Dickinson could play fourth line. But are they vulnerable enough, to maybe invite somebody to camp or possibly make a smaller deal here in the summertime? Is that possible, or did they just sign Curtis Lazar?
Well, at the very least, I think you offer Lazar a PTO for camp, assuming somebody else doesn't sign him. I think that that's fairly unlikely. He seems to be well liked around the league and around the team. I think that, I personally would be going in with Szymanski. I think there's a player there. I really would like to get him more minutes than he's been getting, and the fourth line center is going to limit those opportunities. But, assuming Draisaitl is playing 2C, I think that if you go McDavid, Draisaitl, Dickinson, Szymanski, you're doing okay on your center depth then.
Yeah, it's I looked at the roster and I'm, I like they could make a 3-for-1, based on what they're doing. But then you go, okay, well, maybe you put, Howard and Emberson and a pick together, and what do you get? And there's like right now I like their left side of their defense, and their right side is if Shakir can play both sides, and it sounds like he's been doing that forever, then I think the 7 that they have, and that would mean Stastny is traded or on waivers. And then up front, I think your top 2 lines are set. Dickinson will be the third line center, Szymanski the fourth line center, probably looking at Doc and Frederick on the fourth line, and then the third line, say Nuge and Kapanen, if Ike Howard plays with the Draisaitl line. What would you change like in that group? Is there anything that you would like put in red marker or put in pencil as opposed to pen?
Well, the first thing is they're going to have to figure out what they're going on with their defensemen, and especially if I'm a little troubled that the team is really looking at Josh Brown as somebody that can play in the big leagues, and this may be throwing his camp a bone, like that. Maybe just saying you have the opportunity to earn that. It's available to you. He's got history with DJ Smith, for example. But the Micah Blake McCurdy line of this, Josh Brown is legitimately the worst player in the NHL, has stuck with me ever since he wrote that tweet. And the analytics kind of support that, to be honest with you. So for DJ Smith to come out on one hand and saying, it's not what I believe, it's not what Babcock believes, it's what the analytics tell us. And then this, paradox of, but Josh Brown has an opportunity to play for the Oilers. Only one of those things can be true at the same time. Well, because they're like fundamentally opposed to each other.
Yeah, I never worry about things like that because the results will be there. Josh Brown, God love him. He's a big guy. I watch him in the AHL, and he's very effective there. But in the NHL, he'll get eaten alive. And so the goal share will be low, and it will be, if there is an experiment, it'll be a short-term one. So those things.
But at what cost?
But they're going to make the playoffs if he plays.
No, but at what cost is that? Because right now they're running at least 8 defensemen that are not waiver exempt.
Oh, look, they're going to lose a guy either to trade or waivers, no matter what happens with Josh Brown. But
but is bringing Josh Brown potentially into the picture going to increase the odds of that, or maybe even losing an additional guy that they can't afford to lose?
Absolutely. Right? You're absolutely right, but the idea that Josh Brown is going to play 50 games in the NHL.
Oh no, I don't. I'm worried about the loss of potential assets, not whether he will somehow make it. If he makes it in, great. If somehow he turns into a serviceable NHL defenseman, I will eat my words. I am good with that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. The Oilers can't afford to lose, a Ty Emberson.
No, that's what I'm getting at, right? Like, you cannot risk.
No, they won't.
That is not a player that I risked, assets on.
I would have far more faith in Stan Bowman than that. And August and July are the times when we, blue sky stuff that we wouldn't ordinarily because there's time. But I would say, I think Damien Carfagna is a more promising NHL defenseman this coming year than Josh Brown is.
Well, Josh Brown is about 14th on the depth chart right now, in my eyes. And again, I might have a real slant here, but I watched him play for us, at least at the NHL level, and I admittedly have not watched enough Bakersfield the last couple of seasons. I don't see him like you said. I see guys like Carfagna and Lepinen as being more promising prospects than Brown is currently. And I get that he plays with a hard edge and he's tough as nails, but he also plays like nails, right? Like, I don't know.
Well, you happen to be very lucky to be talking to a nerd. So I track all of the even strength goals for and against in Bakersfield. Last year, the best by quite a bit was Carfagna. He was 53-4 and 40 against. And Bo Akey, who was hurt a lot, he was 33-4 and 25 against. Everybody else was below 50%. Brown wasn't, he was -5, 37-4 and 42 against. There were players like Lepinen was a little worse, Deneen was a little worse, Stillman was a little worse, Prokop was too. Regula played not much, 20 games, and he was -3. But so I would say, and Brown did play a lot and he did penalty kill, but again, it's, he's got great wingspan, but he doesn't have great foot speed. In the AHL, that can work because there's not that many guys who are able to burn by you and control the puck. But in the NHL, they grow on trees, right? So Brown, I can't see a scenario where he makes it to the opening night lineup.
And like I said, that may have just been Stauffer and the rest of the team throwing Brown's camp a bone in the public space, right? Like, it's very, very plausible that that's the outcome here. I don't know. I understand why people are maybe a little bit tilted about that suggestion, and at face value, without accounting for the fact that it may just be some politicking. It's troubling, right?
I look at this like this, that there are things to worry about that are real, and that's the truth. Josh Brown playing for the Edmonton Oilers in the regular season next year, I just either they are going to get, like, Mike Babcock's job is going to be 20 games long, or they're not going to make that kind of decision, because they probably have, conservatively, they probably have 9 better defensemen, and Brown he doesn't move the needle offensively at all. And as a defensive player, the numbers suggest, and the eye test suggests, that at the AHL level, he can absolutely do the job. But this is not a serious idea. I think it's the kind of thing you talk about in July.
No, that's fair. And again, I'm sure that message is being publicized for a reason, and I'm not throwing shade at Stauffer for it. Like, he brings us a lot of valuable insight on the team, but it's it just, the suggestion alone just kind of left me scratching my head a little bit. So,
but it's the same thing as Louis DeBrusque. People are talking about Louis DeBrusque. There's no way they're going to bring Louis DeBrusque in, because how much does he make? And he's a power play specialist. The Oilers, the last thing they need is another great power play guy.
Yeah, and to be honest, he was less of a power play specialist before his time in Vancouver. Like, let's be real. Vancouver had a terrible season last year, and expecting anything out of any of those guys as far as like that being their status quo on a good team, I'm not sure that that's a fair comparison. But Louis DeBrusque is somebody that Jake DeBrusque, excuse me, not Louis. Louis is his own. Jake is somebody that I just don't know if they move the needle for the amount of cap hit, right? Like, I just think there's better ways to spend that money.
Well, he's also, I've watched Jake DeBrusk his whole career. He was an effective player at 5-on-5, even against elite competition at times in Boston. But just like Lucic was, and then was not, I think that part of his career is probably over. So I think you're looking at a kind of a goal scorer, or a player who can help you on the power play, maybe a little 5-on-5 scoring, but you're not going to be able to play in big minutes, with McDavid or Draisaitl, because they're going to play against elites, and DeBrusk isn't there in a way that you'd want him to be.
Yeah, absolutely. A little detour here to other places in the league. 20 minutes ago, Chicago Blackhawks have said that Connor Bedard is out 4 months after having shoulder surgery.
That hurts, man.
Yep.
That's one way to avoid an offer sheet, I guess.
Yeah, that's.
Bedard,
he's had shoulder injuries now for a minute, right? Like it's you had to expect this was coming at some point with the recurrence, right?
He's got a little bit of the Nugent Hopkins injury bug going on. Nuge early in his career was shoulders, and he got ill every fall, and it feels like Bedard is sort of on that trajectory too, which is too bad, because that, at his age, when you get hurt as much as he has, that speaks to ceiling. All right, I enjoyed this very much. We talked about a range of things, including places to eat, which is always good. People want to check you out with that recommendation of cuisine. Just throw them your Twitter handle, would you?
Yeah, my Twitter handle is at Kevin McCurdy. I'm mostly on Twitter as opposed to any of the other social media spaces. It's a post that I made, I guess, last night. It's it's one of those things. It's a post that's not like, it's not about bougie restaurants. It's about good food, and it's about good local places. And a lot of it was Bruce McCurdy approved, not just Kevin McCurdy approved. So, yeah, and if you actually go through that post, there's actually a story about my favorite restaurant there that involves my dad. So, if you guys want to give that a read, there's an old ancient 2008 Bruce McCurdy blog post link. There's some good stuff in there.
All right. Thanks for this, Kevin. Appreciate it.
No worries. Have a good week, everyone.
There you go. Kevin McCurdy, talking a little bit about the Oilers and about breaking news on Bedard and food, and I would not worry about Josh Brown. Not that he's not a fine player, but the Oilers have options that are superior. And in the NHL, it's, there's no sentimentality at all. Is that a word? Sentimentality? All right, we'll go with it. Okay, on the way later on this hour is Declinations. Coming up, your comments. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Can he become a Swiss icon here? It's all over! Switzerland are going to the quarter-final of the World Cup, and they've got a date with Lionel Messi and Argentina in Kansas. And there it is. Novak Djokovic does it one more time on center court at Wimbledon. $5 hours and 50. Guy that you're just trying to find square up. Highline drive, center field, carries over the wall. 300 for Shohei Ohtani. Can he become a Swiss icon here? It's all over! Switzerland are going to the quarterfinal of the World Cup, and they've got a date with Lionel Messi and Argentina in Kansas. Messi and Argentina. Argentina. So and there it is. And there it is. Novak Djokovic does it one more time on center court at Wimbledon. Guy that you're just trying to find square up. Highline drive, center field, carries over the wall. 300 for Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani. Ohtani.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. I have to ask because that individual had a really unique voice. Who is that?
That is Lorde, a New Zealand singer, blew up probably around 2013, 2014. I think that was one of her first hits. And my friend, he went to school in New Zealand for a year. Allegedly, they went to the same high school. Or
Cool.
Or like he knew her and she went to like an adjacent school, like a rival school kind of thing. So,
Right.
yeah.
The lyrics are scary for the modern man. I want to say that. But other than that, it was really good. That was a nice vocal. By the way, I wanted to give you an update on that. Remember your friend who gave Ziggy the little stairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Sevy the commish on the text line.
Right. The cat, Nimbus, the black cat, has taken it over as a scratching post and found a lid on the top stair and now hides and sleeps in there. But we're trying to get Ziggy to use it properly.
As long as it's getting used, that's what it's about.
Oh my God. When you have that many animals in the house, everything is, you just make sure the toilet paper is high enough that they can't get a hold of it, especially the cats. Okay, I wanted to do this because we talked about Josh Brown with Kevin McCurdy. And I think there's a lot of people who maybe didn't see him play in the AHL, and I did. People are saying, well, he's very slow and he's not as fast as the other guys. Last time he played like as a regular, enough for you to be able to give an idea about what his speed was in 22-23 in the NHL. He was at 61st percentile. So it's not like he can't skate at all, but he's not as fast as Emberson or Murphy, I don't think, and Evan Bouchard. So, and he's big and he's strong, and there's no doubt about any of that. But in watching him last year, I thought he was quite effective in the AHL. And he was under 50% in even strength goal share, but everybody but Damien Carfagna and Bo Akey were. So if you're saying to me, is he a recall option? Absolutely he is. But I don't think they're going to waive Ty Emberson to keep Josh Brown. That's what I want your takeaway to be from the convo that I had, my side of the takeaway that I just had with Kevin McCurdy. Brown, if he gets recalled in the middle of the season due to an injury, that's you can understand that. But NHL teams are really careful about that sort of stuff because you're going to need Ty Emberson, and if you don't need him, trade him. But you're going to need him during the year, so you would never risk waivers on him. So, and they can't keep 8 defensemen because they're keeping 3 goalies. So there you have it. Now Spencer Stastny, he's in a little bit of danger. I think there's some real trade possibility there. Who are your centers in Calgary?
Oh God, don't hurt me like this. Let's see. Morgan Frost, Michael Backlund, Ryan Strome, and who is our fourth line guy? I cannot remember. Some scrub.
Right.
Probably be Connor Zary by the end of the year, but I think right now he's slotted in as the third line left winger. Oh, Pospisil. He should not be on the fourth line. He's sick. I love
dude.
You like all the fourth line guys.
Yeah, but Pospisil actually is sick. What they are doing to Connor Zary and Martin Pospisil is damning.
Dude, they've got the best coach ever. How can you say that?
No disrespect, but your team is terrible.
Thank you, Declan.
Like I'm like, this is horrible. Like no, hey,
did you see the year Ryan Strome had?
Declan speaks the truth.
We've all been there.
I think he doubled up his point total
from 12 to 18.
95% of being a sports fan is being a loser, but this is.
You've chosen this.
That's that honestly, that it could be more bleak. Matt Vagridden, sick.
It could
Michael
be more,
Backlund,
it could be more
still a good NHLer. He's slow and old as dirt.
Look,
but man, he is good two-way still.
You will never on this show get away with saying anything negative about Michael Backlund.
I will never say anything negative about Michael Backlund. That is my captain, and he is one of the best. He's still unbelievably somehow one of the best two-way centers in the league.
The Oilers should have drafted him. I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
Let's see, what year was that? 08?
It was earlier than that.
I think it was 08.
That would have been the Eberle year.
07. My apologies.
Yeah,
that
like makes more sense. Yeah, 24th overall. But the Oilers had like 3 picks in the first round that year, didn't they? And they didn't take Backlund. Just idiot move, you know? Like the Oilers took Gagne at 6. They took Alex Plante at 15. And then at 21, they took Riley Nash. And then 3 picks later, the Flames get Backlund. What the hell?
Well, Sam Gagne, he had how many points in an NHL game?
I have no quarrel with Gagne, but Alex Plante had been hurt in the year that he got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
And Riley Nash was a born third-line center. And you've got, and they passed on Pacioretty, too.
Ooh, that's tough.
And David Perron, who's one of my all-time favorite players.
I mean, again, like he is old. By the time like that Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk were lighting it up for them, and they had that great year. Elias Lindholm was the top line center. But
Reek says, LG, why are we reliving that draft? It's Josh's fault.
What? You're the one that brought it up.
Josh said he thought it was 2008, and I said, no, that's wrong.
And it was 07, and I was wrong.
I remember that speaking of Bob and Guy Flaming were doing a live on location draft show. And it was at Shanks.
Nice.
In the West End. And I was there for a while. And Bob was talking, and Guy called me over and he said, this is the guy the Oilers are taking at 15. And it was Plante. And I said to him, why not Backlund? He goes, I don't know.
Well, things happen.
Well, everybody's got their. And then, of course, in later years, they refused to draft Hall of Famer Jesper Wallstedt, and people are still mad about that.
They did what?
Be, as they should be.
You mean current Hall of Famer Jesper Wallstedt?
I love Oilers fans, and I've made a fine living by writing and interacting with Oilers fans. But there is a thing about goalies that is like Connor Unger is now in the Hall of Fame.
They were right about Jesper Wallstedt, though, because they were right at the time. They wanted him at the time to grow with McDavid and Draisaitl, and he's turned out to be pretty sick.
He has, but the Oilers scouts felt like Xavier Bourgault was going to grow with the Oilers.
Xavier Bourgault was clearly the clear-cut
He actually
option.
just had to give the NHL money at arbitration to stay in the league. He has to pay them a salary to let him play in the league.
But it didn't work out. It's not the same as people talk about the draft like it's an absolute sure thing. And I understand a lot of fans were all over Jesper Wallstedt because it was a need. So it logically, you could have absolutely drafted him or Kosa. But you can go and do this with every team in the league, guys. Every team passes on a guy who ends up being a Hall of Famer.
This is true.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, of course, unless the guy goes 1-1, like, of course. But the thing was, this wasn't like revisionist history. They wanted him at the
I understand
time.
that, but it doesn't change the calibration of drafting 18-year-olds. That's why you should draft them at 20. because then you know for sure. So they're trading Bouchard to make room for Brown. Is that what you're saying, right? Luke and Cowtown. Yes. Yeah, thank you for allowing me to clarify that. Lowetide, you're right. No way they're bringing Louis DeBrusque in from Bobby. I've always was a fan of Louis DeBrusque. Good guy, too, but I like what he brought on the ice. Good player. I don't know. I just think the Oilers got Lucic. I remember talking to Dello about this. This was before Dello worked for the Oilers, or maybe after. I can't remember. But I was like, no, Lucic is going to be fine. And he's like, I don't know, man. You look at that LA season, I'm not sure. And I'm like, and then I looked at it, I'm like, oh, he's hit a wall. And the Oilers signed Lucic right when he hit a wall. He stopped scoring at even strength. He did his stick was never where it was supposed to be. He was always so good at that. He was a great passer. All of those things went away. All of them. And he ended up having a good first year because it was on the power play so much. But half of his points were on the power play that year. And previous to that, in LA and in Boston, he was mostly an even strength scorer. So the Oilers did that thing where you sign a guy out of free agency at exactly the wrong time. And then they've done it again and again and again. And look, it paid off with Zach Hyman. So I'm not saying it's always a terrible idea. But it's mostly a terrible idea. And the Oilers did avoid that this year. What's the longest contract they signed this year? I guess Connor Murphy.
Well, yeah, Dickinson.
Yeah.
Wait, wouldn't it be Ryan Shea? That was 5 years. Or no, I guess Murphy was also 5 years, right?
Yeah.
At 29, Shea. Murphy's older. So maybe
Murphy's
that's
32, right?
33, I think. I think he's 33.
But the Lucic contract was unbuyoutable. You couldn't do it. You'd pay more.
Yeah.
Thank God Calgary took him and got a third, second, first round pick out of it. Gary just absolutely flamed the Oilers on that thing. Now, if you take your slide rule and you use it on the game play basis, what in the hell was going on?
Yeah, it's just Gary doing his thing.
Well, the one good thing is they sent the pick to Calgary where it didn't do one damn good a bit. Or a bit of good.
They did exactly what the Oilers would have done with it as well.
You're right. Can't claim high ground there, buddy.
No, you cannot. As we just discussed.
All right. So what's coming up on Declination, sir?
Well, it's certainly a little bit slower in the NBA world right now. Chris Middleton is returning to the Washington Wizards. It's hilarious that in the Big 26, Chris Middleton's getting $17 million over 3 years to play basketball. Like he's just so washed, but good guy, good veteran presence. I don't even know what he's going to look like he's going to hang out on the bench a little bit, play maybe 18 minutes a night. Kyle Lowry, he obviously retired as a member of the Raptors. And something I actually do want to kind of talk about is free agency a little dead? Is it more just about the trades now? Because when we look at the past couple off seasons and some of the big signings, it's not what it maybe was of yesteryear. Like Paul George that immediately became an albatross. This year, who was the biggest free agent signing? Like a couple of years ago, it was Gordon Hayward to the Hornets, like Fred VanVleet in 23. So is it just shifting a little bit more towards trades?
So you're telling me that a guy who'll play part-time in the NBA is making 17 swill, and that's the almost outer marker in the NHL?
Well, his total value is $17 million.
Okay, sorry. Okay, well, we'll look forward to that. And can we talk about the 76ers?
Oh, of course we can.
And how you guys just absolutely
throw some questions at us.
Rightfully so.
Because you're still not hearing what we're saying.
I'm hard on the 76ers. That being said, they're a division rival. I hate the Sixers, but I'll do my best.
And you're a fan of what team?
The Toronto Raptors.
Oh, well, I can't get mad at you for that. I like the Raptors.
Yeah, they're great.
Maybe we can talk about the Raptors. They've done something.
They've done great things. Anyways.
Right. Okay. That's all straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
You don't just need property services. You need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Krueger for a first-time discount. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 55% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
You have neck or back pain? Ever go for treatment hoping for a simple fix only to realize your stubborn spine is basically a science project with attitude? Hey, we get it. And honestly, we're a little sorry because great rehab does take proper experimenting. But at Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we don't just toss exercises into the beaker and hope it doesn't explode. We start with the right diagnosis, then mix hands-on care, precise manual therapy, and evidence-based technology. The formula your body actually needs. Science and skill with gratitude, not attitude. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Canada's men's rugby team at Clark Stadium, July 11th. Don't miss an international doubleheader as Canada takes on Portugal and Tonga battles Spain. Build the home field advantage for Team Canada. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Ice digging and breaking down the middle. Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. It is so humid in here, very close. And this is the inside. I do not recall, maybe 1977, there were as many summer storms in Edmonton as we've seen this year. But it's been a long time. I believe that. Josh tells us that there's record rainfall in July.
Well, there was a lot last year, too.
Or just June, yeah. But there was record rainfall in June of this year. So.
And you're talking about Josh Clausen, not me. The right Josh.
No, you're both right Joshes. Just different, careers. That's all. It's time for Declinations, brought to you by Edmonton Elks. The Edmonton Elks' next home game is tomorrow night. Come see the most explosive player in the CFL, Justin Rankin. Lock in your tickets at GoElksGo or goelks.com/tickets. That's GoElks. goelks.com/tickets. I've seen that before. It just seems like it's the first time I've seen it. All right, boys, go.
All right, well, you had some questions regarding the 76ers?
I want to know why you guys disrespect the 76ers and the Eagles so much. Now, the Eagles have won Super Bowls.
Yep.
And you're all over their quarterback. And now the 76ers
question.
made a good deal, and you just I can't admit it.
I wouldn't say we disrespect the 76ers to the same level we do as the Eagles. I would start there. I just think the thing with the Philadelphia 76ers is you have this unbelievably talented player, like all-world player. I've talked about this, one of 36 guys ever to win league MVP, but he just doesn't play. And it gets to a point where all that talent you've kind of surrounded yourself with and everything you've built up has nothing to show for it. And so that's why I just think when we talk about him not playing games and when we talk about them not achieving what they need to achieve, it's all warranted. And it's with the 76ers, it's a little bit more of a tough love thing, I think. Like with the Eagles, there's a little bit of obviously fraudulence, not even remotely close to the right word because they literally won a Super Bowl. But it's just there is the thing with the Eagles and with Jalen Hurts specifically is like that is the best team ever built on paper for a guy with his skill set. And I think he gets to reap the rewards of it. And anything he doesn't do that well kind of gets thrown under the rug. And then it's just masked with like, hey, well, he won a Super Bowl. Like, it's all good. And it's like, I don't know, man. Yes, he did. And
he's buns.
Would you agree that injuries have taken some of the things he did well away from him?
Jalen Hurts?
That shoulder injury.
Yeah, like that is
3 years. Was that 3 years ago now?
Right.
So I just think that the reality of the league has impacted his ability to play. And so if you take the injuries away and you just rip him for what he can't do, then fair game. But I think that
well, but like I don't even think the injuries get factored in that much when we talk about what he can't do. Like so
the injuries haven't impacted how he plays.
No, like they have for sure, but it's like he's been limited. He was limited without the injuries or before the injuries. He is this is my thing. I've been so consistent with this with the Eagles, and I don't think Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback by any stretch.
Donovan McNabb was a better quarterback.
Yeah,
we can name a lot of better quarterbacks
but I'm talking about Eagles history.
My thing with Jalen Hurts is just that with that Philadelphia team, like they were limited at the most important position, and it didn't hurt them because they won a Super Bowl, but they were, and we saw it this past season. And he just never really seemed to take any flack on the chest for that. Now, granted, neither did AJ Brown, and there are other things you can point to. Maybe neither did Nick Sirianni, but I just. What can I possibly say? They won a Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. But it's just when he gets compared to, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, he's not as good as those guys. Like,
I don't. But how many people are out there saying he's top 5 quarterback?
A lot of Philly guys.
A lot more than is warranted. And it's such a moot point because it's like he won you a Super Bowl. But my thing was,
I think once you win a Super Bowl.
And that's totally fair and totally valid. But my thing was always like that roster should probably win 2 or 3. And I think because of their quarterback, they'll be a little limited in their ability to do that.
That's for me the reason why Hurts won and Donovan McNabb didn't is why sports is sometimes unfair. Because I think the McNabb Eagles should have won a Super Bowl.
It is a cruel game, isn't it? And they just ran into
Brady.
Yeah.
And I mean and
that Pat's defense.
Right. And you just go, okay, well, you know what? They were better. Absolutely.
As in like the 76ers thing, to bring it back to ball, is they just like Josh, I would make this argument. In the past 10 years, they are the team who has underachieved the most collectively when you look at who they had and what they should have done versus what they have done.
How much of that is the injury, though?
Oh, for sure. But that's part of it.
No, but
right?
you can't.
Availability.
Those stupid 76ers, they went and Embiid got hurt. You can't blame.
It's not like they built a great team around him outside of that 2019 year either, though. But they gave way too much money to Tobias Harris.
How many years has he been healthy? And in those years, how well have they done?
He was healthy in his MVP season, obviously, and they got smoked out by the Atlanta Hawks. Not great.
He's missed more games than he's played in his career.
Again, that's not you. I don't know how you can fault the coach
No, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not faulting the coach. I would fault the front office more because, first of all, they hired Daryl Morey, who's in love with James Harden. And
that was a mistake.
That was a mistake. But like his supporting cast was not good enough. Like they looked like a bad team when
and now they've hired
Embiid was not on the floor.
And now they've traded for a guy who doesn't really help them, even though he's a star.
No, like he's so weird. I think Jaylen Brown is such an anomaly, and I think Josh agrees with this.
Yeah.
Like he does help them, but
to what end?
To what end? Everything we've ever been shown, like analytics wise, should suggest he doesn't. Like he's just such a strange case of a player.
So last year, the 76ers, I'm looking it up now, won 45 games. Will they win 45 this year?
I think they'll win over 50.
I think Tyrese Maxey will be better. Again, the addition of Jaylen Brown helps. I just don't know how much. And VJ Edgecombe will go into his second year, so I think he'll come up for a big jump. He'll be better defensively all the way around.
He's already a very good player.
And he's already a very good player.
Who's the best team in the Eastern Conference right now?
The New York Knicks.
And their chances of repeating are better than every other team?
No,
in the East?
I would take the field for sure. Just because of what we've seen since the Warriors repeat. Like it just that. And also, I know they literally just beat them in 5 games and smacked them around and absolutely proved they were the better team in every way. But when you look at, San Antonio, you'd think a little bit of experience puts them over the top. When you look at OKC, they're going to be right there. The Lakers probably won't be, but they at least should be in theory with Luka. So,
and I've always felt that it sounds ridiculous saying it now, but the power base in the NBA is in the West. Will it be again this coming year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's so weird how it just exists there. Like it really just does, no matter what, era by era, year by year, decade by decade, the power just exists in the Western Conference.
I think, isn't it part of it that there are some really well-run teams like San Antonio, and then the Lakers can always get the biggest star, even though they're doing weird stuff right now. They'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Their roster is set pretty much. Yeah. The Aryan lineup, as people are calling it, like Luka, Austin Reeves,
Walker Kessler.
Walker Kessler played 5 games last year and got 4 years on $130 million.
Just throwing out phrases that were long past.
Well, that's Twitter for you.
That's Twitter for you. Yeah.
Just
stole that one from Twitter. Also, Mamu, he got a
that's
bag
right,
from the
Sandro.
Lakers. And hey, he was good for the Raptors last year. Like when he
was good for the
bench.
Spurs the year before too. It's just like a good guy to have coming off the bench. Spark plug.
What? How good can the Raptors win 50?
Yeah, but like it's weird because you would think they absolutely can based on their roster, but Kawhi is going to play like 58 games. Yeah. And that's going to
I wouldn't exactly say that this roster of the Raptors is similar to the 2019 one, which Kawhi missed 20 games that year, and that Raptors team went 18-2 without Kawhi Leonard. They just don't have enough outside shooting.
No.
Kawhi Leonard is the best 3-point shooter on that team outside of Emmanuel Quickly, and he shoots 37% from the yard.
You are giddy that Kawhi's there.
I'm so excited. Here, let me put it this way, Tide.
As he should be.
So Kawhi Leonard got traded to the Raptors.
Yes.
Beat the 76ers in the playoffs.
Yes.
Famously. Went to LA, mucked about for 7 years, and then got traded back to the Raptors all before the 76ers went to the conference finals.
Well, that's not a surprise with their injuries and Ben Simmons.
You mean pro fisherman Ben Simmons? What were they doing employing that guy? Brooklyn Nets legend?
Right under the bucket.
Man,
right under the bucket.
What a just sad case. He was so nice too.
Ryan NBA return. Ben Simmons.
He was right under the bucket.
Yeah, and he passed it. He was scared.
You can't do that.
It was like Austin Matthews in the gold medal game.
It was like Austin Powers is what it was like. I mean, my God.
It was a joke. You're right.
Yeah. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time. You guys.
Well, this was a good use of the time.
It was a good use of the time because I don't think there's much to really monologue on right now.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell is going to be paying what Leo Carlson will be making in taxes next year.
Yeah, his contract, 4 years, $273 million. If you're thinking about putting your kid into
$75.5 million in his last year.
Chris Middleton, who I talked about and we just made fun of, he at the end of this contract will have made $327 million in career earnings. A lot of you guys you probably know who Chris Middleton is.
How much has Harden made?
Oh man, it's got to be up near 4. No, actually, because he didn't get that big contract in Brooklyn that he. It's still $411 million. So he's doing okay.
$411 million. That's walking around money.
Yeah, it's like, chump change.
Like you're like, all right, let's go to the mall. I'm gonna buy some stuff.
That was Harden's career earnings.
You're like Veronica Lodge in the Archie Digest.
Yeah.
You're just going and all you're coming back with is white boxes with those really cool ties on it.
With the ribbons, yeah.
Yeah.
I always wondered, like, What stores are you shopping at to give you that?
I don't know.
And that aren't just bags.
I never met a girl who could afford to call, her father Daddykins either. So,
Yeah, well, please don't.
As it stands right now through 27-28, the fourth highest all time in career earnings will be Paul George at $516 million. That is bank robbery by Paul George, but credit to him, man.
Well, so the NBA in totality has now traded Paul George for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jaylen Brown, DeMontis Sabonis, Victor Oladipo, and Danilo Gallinari, and 7 first-round picks plus 4 pick swaps, not including other pieces of these trades. Paul George is the most valuable player in NBA history.
Well, I would say this, that there's value there because he keeps getting traded, but we all know that franchises who just absolutely like full bolt appreciate a player and know what he is, they don't trade the guy.
Yeah.
So they've traded him and he's valuable because people keep wanting him, but there's a reason why he keeps getting traded.
This is a good text from Kyle regarding Jalen Hurts. Was he hurt when he lost the flag football game?
And again, we don't talk about Allen fumbling the ball in the biggest game of the season running down the field.
We definitely have.
We definitely
I haven't heard anything about that.
No one called him a loser more than I did. And that's true.
It's true.
Well, at least, the Bills have their Super Bowl.
Ronaldo makes in 2 weeks what Connor makes in a year. Yikes.
Wow. Never won the big one, though. So there you go.
That's true. Neither did Connor.
Well, he's got a little time, right? Or
he does. Obi didn't win until he was, 31?
Yeah. No, it's true. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Lowdown. Jason Krueger on the way. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Premax Real Estate. Premax Move in the Edmonton or area. Call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Wimbledon results from earlier today in the men's singles quarters with Sasha Zverev over Taylor Fritz in straight sets and Arthur Ferry over Flavio Kobali in the same. In the women's draw, it was Marta Kostic over Jasmine Paolini, and it was Linda Noskova over Elise Martens, also both in straight sets. MLB scores right now: the Jays and the Giants tied 0-0 in the top of the first. Up next on the dock will be the Cubs and the Orioles. News from around the sporting world: Connor Bedard with a shoulder injury set to miss 4 months following his surgery. The Utah men have matched Barrett Hayden's offer sheet from the Devils, and Daniel Alfredson did confirm he interviewed for the Maple Leafs head coaching gig. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 3rd.